Hey, real quick before we start the video, I just wanted to mention I'll be talking about some really heavy subjects such as grooming and coming across illicit imagery such as corn. I can't say the actual word because YouTube, but I will put a timestamp here if you'd like to just hear about the pony stuff. I'll try my best to keep timestamps for the video in the comments below, but other than that, yeah, just wanted to give a little warning. Chowder hat is on. I am now going to do the video. So, I'm tired of trying to make a video to explain where I've been and what I've been up to and what life has been like. To in short, reiterate everything that I was trying to mention in the previous videos that I've tried to make, and I apologize for how grainy this footage is going to be, but it's going to be grainy. It's going to be grainy. I moved again, or we moved again. I got a gallstone. That sucked. Had to get surgery. That also sucked. Moved 2 weeks after the surgery. Horrifying. About a month after that. Went to Universal, tried recording this once on that thing back there. The mic is working, audio's working, camera sucks. For some reason, the app that I've been using for filming has been lagging a lot. I mean, horrible, awful lag. And I usually do not get bad lag with this particular app. So I'm not going to use it anymore, and I'm going to try to, in the future, invest in a webcam so I can finally film over there. I do also have outdoor cameras that I could probably use, but those also have grainy, terrible, awful footage quality. And those are being used for different projects anyways. I don't want to have to get another SD card. So my only plan right now is to film on here until I get a webcam. So trying to think of what else has happened. Quit one of my day jobs. I am open for art commissions. That's something else. I think that covers all the updates. If you want a video on my life story, sure, I might do that one day. But right now, we're doing the pony video, okay? We're doing it. We're doing it. I am going to ramble. This is going to be a long one. I'm going to have to cut out a bunch of parts. This is just going to be a pain in the rear. My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, was a cartoon that released in 2010. So, fuck. Okay. 15 years ago. Lord, oh my God, 15 years ago? You're watching this realization cake into me in real time. 15 years ago, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic comes out. It becomes like this big hit. To also contextualize what I am about to talk about, during that time, I think around the time of like the later half of season 1 going into season 2, you had a lot of people on different boards in 4chan do a thing called pony posting. And essentially what they would do is they would just post like memes or talk about My Little Pony openly on a majority, and I mean a majority of the boards on 4chan. Those memes and all of that content ends up building up the foundation for the early Brony community. Not saying that there weren't Bronies before then. There were people who were a part of like a smaller fan base of people who collected the My Little Pony figures from Hasbro from like the previous generations. And I'm sure, and there were fans of the prior generations, but it was a small enough fan base. It just was like, it was not the same vibe as the people that we would get from the 4chan boards, who were the bronies that a lot of you guys know of in today's broader context of the brony community. The bronies of 4chan were not into the show in the way that you see on, like, the documentary that was, like, on Netflix there for a minute, or on any of the other, like, interviews you might have seen online. The bronies of 4chan did not like the show when it first came out, and they were only pony posting ironically. Because, oh, well, that's funny. Ha, funny pony. Ha ha. It got to be such of a problem on 4chan, at least, again, a lot of this is word of mouth. A lot of what I am reciting to you is stuff that was recited to me throughout the years, and stuff that I had come across throughout the years. These guys posted, or these people posted so much pony stuff that 4chan had to ban pony posting on all of its boards. And so from there was a specific thread that you could pony post on. And a lot of people did. A lot of other people left 4chan entirely to pony post on other sites or create other sites and stuff. This is where you get things like Equestria Daily and so on and so forth. My experience with bronies is a very, not bittersweet, but more so a sweetly bitter, like, relationship. I loved My Little Pony. I was a huge fan of the show. I still am a pretty big fan of, like, the first 3 seasons. I adored them. I adored the show. I was within the show's target demographic, and I really liked it. And I would go online and I would see, oh, there's other people out there that like this. And then I saw, oh, they're grown men. And so during that time, let's see, I was born in 2002. So I was about 8 years old when the show came out. I started watching it when I was about 11, 12 years old. So I was on the older... Well, not 11. Probably closer to, like, 10 or 11. It was around those 3 ages that I had started really watching it. And I had friends of mine who would watch it, and they all liked it too. And so we all were like, yeah, My Little Pony, la-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. Through My Little Pony and through the brony fandom is how I ended up getting into a lot of other fandoms. I got into creepypasta through My Little Pony, though not through, like, the Rainbow Factory or through, cupcakes, thank God. When I read, like, the first few paragraphs of Cupcakes when it had come out, and I just was like, no thanks, I'm good. And I put it away. I hated Cupcakes when I first read it, and then here recently I watched Creepcast's video of them retelling Cupcakes, and didn't realize just how much of, like, it's one of those pieces that's like the creator's not so well hidden kink. It definitely reads to me as a grown man's torture corn. I hate YouTube. It reads more as that than as, like, a kid just wanting to, like, make something super gory and crazy and blah. I was also introduced to things that I shouldn't have seen, and this goes into something that I was trying to mention in a lot of my update videos that I tried to record before this one, that I just couldn't get the words out right for. There are multiple people at fault for the trauma that I have incurred that stem from one image that I had seen as a kid. it is my fault for not going to, like, child-appropriate spaces. Places like DeviantArt and even just Google Images at that time. I'm sure there's a lot of Gen Z from around my age who remembers how horrible the filtering process on Google Images was at that time. I mean, we all remember, a lot of us remember Blue Waffle. I was lucky enough to not look it up, but there were a lot of people out there that did, and a lot of my friends did, and they all were like, oh my god, don't look up Blue Waffle, and that became a whole thing. I should have been better about choosing where I got my references from, and my parents should have been more attentive of the places that I was visiting at online. It's all a matter of adults going into spaces with children in them need to be aware that they are adults in children's spaces. Hello, it's me again. I wanted to mention real quick that nowadays it's more so children going into adult spaces rather than vice versa. I feel like back in the day you did have a good influx of adults going into child spaces and stuff. And definitely in the Brony community, I mean, My Little Pony was targeted towards kids. And you've got all of these adults who are going into this fandom for a children's show, drawing images of those characters in ways that don't need to be seen by the kids who are watching that show. But nowadays we have a lot more children going into adult spaces because there is this lack of a middle place for them. There's no little clubs or little forums just specifically catered towards them anymore. There's no Club Penguin anymore, so they're kind of limited on options. You've got Animal Jam and you've got Wizard 101, and if you don't like either of those, then you don't really have a place to go to. So I feel like my point here got kind of muddled out, but let's get back to the video. Parents need to be more aware of what their kids are doing online. It is not this thing, it should not be this thing of, we'll have age verification. That way we know the ages of everyone who's going on there. And if you are under the age, then you can't access this stuff. There are plenty of workarounds that kids can do to get to those things. Even before age verification, even with the filters, there are ways that these kids can get to content this bad. And now I forgot to mention how I saw this content to begin with. I was drawing a pony called Spitfire, and Spitfire was one of those ponies that got a lot of corn made of them, and I didn't know what that was when I had seen it, and I was really confused, and then it just spiraled from there. It was an experience that I still have trouble really working out. And again, a lot of it is just negligence on so many different levels. Google was notoriously bad about stuff like this. About just having illicit images just out in the open back in the day. Nowadays, it's gotten a lot better. At least in my experience, going on Google to look up references for something. Their engine is a lot quicker at being like, oh, this is illicit material, this needs to be censored, especially if you have safe search on. But I digress. Personally, on the whole argument of, well, should we have age verification on things? Should we do this? Should we do that? in my opinion, having age verification on a website does nothing but steal more data from that person. A lot of places ask for your birthday when you sign up for the website. To me, that should be enough. Even then, like, oh, well, you still have those kids that, like, fake their birthdays and stuff and la-da-da-da-da. That, to me, comes across as more of a problem on the parents' part for not being aware of what they're doing online. And that the parent needs to be more aware of, like, what their kid's doing on the internet. Because the internet, to me, has always been like this, like, not to go on a side tangent, but to go on a side tangent, it's always been like a digital neighborhood. You wouldn't send your kid to a random person's house in person. So why would you then allow your kid to go to a random website just out of thin air? We should be more aware of what our kids are doing. That is the move. But in the era of iPad kids, parents who are not parenting their kids and who are like, oh, here's your iPad, I feel like a lot of them lean more towards age verification than not because, oh, well, that makes my job easier. And I can understand it. Like, maybe you work like 3 different jobs and you can't pay attention to your kid constantly. At the very least, there needs to be someone there in that child's life that knows what they're doing online and that cares about the kid and wants to make sure that they are not being groomed or being harmed or anything. And then you also have, like, the issue with teenagers grooming teenagers, which is a whole nother issue on its own, and it's something that I do not want to get into in this video about ponies. But it is something that, again, has been keeping me from talking about my experience with My Little Pony because it's something that I really had a hard time articulating how I felt about it. These discussions need to be continued to be had, but I feel like a lot of it is parents need to be more aware of what their kids are doing. And kids need to be more upfront about them being kids. That summarizes that entire section there. Let's move on. Let's talk about ponies. Looking back on the whole Brony fandom, I was really into their music. Brony songs, there's something about Brony music that's, like, too good. It's like, you think it shouldn't be good because it's like, oh, well, it's bronies. You know, Brony music, but it is. Jackal-app and Mike the Microphone and Wooden Toaster and The Living Tombstone, which The Living Tombstone has gone on to be more than just like a Brony icon, but just an internet icon in general, and I love that for him. Like, there's a little part of me that's very proud of being, like, a big fan of his work over the years, and seeing how far he's come has just been very fun and enlightening for me. It's made me so happy. There was a lot of Wooden Toaster's music that I listened to a lot. That includes Rainbow Factory, Awoken. Oh my gosh, when the Brony music video for that came out, jaw floor. Like, I was stunned. That thing inspired me for, like, months on end. I was listening to Awoken so many times, it's not even funny. Like, it's just it was one of those songs that I just was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And then Jackal-app, a lot of Jackal-app's music was, like, just so relaxing and fun to listen to. He had a really relaxing singing voice. I remember really being into his music. And then, of course, you know, Living Tombstone. You got Discord. You got Good Old Days. I don't even know if anyone remembers Good Old Days. And then September. Oh my god. Okay, now September, to me, lyrics... the lyrics are so edgy. Like, at the very end, it's like, not to spoil the song for you, ending lyrics are like, oh, right, I killed everybody. La-ti-da. It's like you had a really good hook there. Just keep the mystery of, like, not knowing what happened in September. I feel like that would have been, I don't know. And then there were other songs, too. You had things like, Friendship is Witchcraft. I know Jenny Nicholson already made a video about, like, Friendship is Witchcraft and stuff, and also about, like, the last Brony con. So by all means, like, if you want to know more about the Brony fandom. And, I mean, hell, she worked on, like, she was a part of the crew for Friendship is Witchcraft. That being said, I believe it's either Pinky's Brew or Witch's Brew. I can't remember what it's called. Oh, no, it's Bard, I believe. I can't say the word because it's a slur, but that is one, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of the fandom is like, oh, about that now. And over the years, to just reiterate things, they realized it was, and they were like, oh, uh-oh, that's not good. So, but that song ended up becoming a really popular song, and that was one of the songs that I used to listen to a lot growing up, and even memorized the lyrics to. Another series that I feel like a web series adjacent to My Little Pony that I feel like didn't get enough recognition, but also a series that really quickly went to the deep end and didn't explore its themes that it brought up in the first couple of episodes, was a, like, mashup series called My Little Portal. I don't know if anyone else remembers the series but me, but surely there's someone out there that remembers it. Portal was one of my hyperfixations when I was younger. It was right around the same time that I started really liking My Little Pony. And when My Little Portal came out, I was like, oh my god. It was like a big deal for me. I remember rewatching it, like catching up on it when I got much older, and the episodes ended up being more of like this mishmash of like, here's all these other fandoms, and they're also in the Portal universe, and all of the lore that was built up in the first couple episodes is now just kind of like, it was not good. I was very upset. I did not like the newer episodes or the later episodes of My Little Portal. That being said, I remember really liking the character designs and feeling like the designs of the ponies matched really well with the designs of like Portal's space, and I remember it becoming just this really big, again, inspiration for me. That, the Rainbow Factory and Awoken and like just My Little Pony were just really big inspirations for me. It was really cool. It was a neat time to be alive. I really enjoyed myself for the most part. Obviously, after what I've talked about in the beginning, glad I ripped that band-aid off. I still wasn't really fulfilled with the Brony fandom the way that I am with the furry fandom. When I entered into the Brony fandom as a kid, there's only one other person that I had a friend, like, as a friend online. And I believe they were a teenager like me. They could have been full grown for for all I know. I don't know. But they were a really close friend of mine. I owe a lot of respect to that person. I remember drawing a lot of art with them and talking about art and talking about like our day-to-day. And I miss that person. I hope that they're doing well. But I remember talking with them online a lot. They were like really the only friend that I had in the Brony community. I tried making friends in other spaces. This was something that I struggled with a lot. And it was like that for a lot of aspects of my life at that time. And it got to a point where seeing My Little Pony and seeing like their friendships and everything, I want that so bad, but I don't have that. I'm glad that now I have friends that do care, and I've got friends who want to make an active, like, just want to be active in my life and want to be around me and care about what happens to me and stuff. That is an experience that I am getting in the furry community that I didn't get in the Brony community. The community that's literally about a child's show about making friends. I didn't make friends in, except for one. It was just baffling to me. Like, I was like, I'm posting as frequent as I can. I'm posting some of the best art that I've made in years. Not my all-time best. I think I'm a lot better of an artist now than I was then. I just was like, I don't get it. Why aren't people talking to me? Why does it feel like I'm talking to a void? And it's kind of been that way here recently, like on my newer profiles and stuff for like social media of like, well, I'm posting and I have a decent amount of followers, but I'm just getting likes. I'm not getting people being like, oh, this is a neat idea. Well, oh, you're a part of this fandom? That's cool. And I'm witnessing in a lot of my other friends' communities, like they're getting a little bit more interaction. That's something that I gotta work on. I don't know if it's a me thing, if maybe I'm not interacting enough with other posts and so other people aren't interacting with me. That could be the case. Or, if I'm just not using right buzzwords. Maybe I need to put Mr. Beast in one of my pieces. The art of the Brony community was great. There's so many great artists and so many great pony designs too. I am still very fascinated with some of the designs and the lore that people come up with their characters and stuff for the Brony community. The most recent generation, I know not a lot of people like it. I liked the movie, but I didn't see anything else afterwards. I'm not as big into the community anymore, and that's okay. Like, I've moved on to a different community. I have new friends now. I am in a completely different space, and I've made this space my home for the time being, and I enjoy it. You know, that's pretty much all there is to it. And on top of that, like, you know, as much as I am weirded out by illicit content that I had seen in that community, and weirded out by, I'm just not big. I have come to the conclusion that I am not big on sexual illicit content. It's not my thing. It's not my thing. There's still just a lot of great art in both of these in a lot of these fandom spaces. The things that I take away from my time in the Brony community is, if I ever have kids, I need to be more aware of what they're doing online. I guess I should have had that idea with the last couple of videos I made. I feel like my kids, if I have kids, need to pay attention to them. I liked the show, and I liked the lessons that it taught me, but I'm glad to be in a different space now. And I am glad to have taken the lessons that I've learned while in the Brony community and translate them to the communities afterwards. I think that's about it that I've got to say on the Brony community. If I had some advice for younger me at that time, be kinder to yourself and be open with the people that you love and care about. Be more open with your loved ones about what you're doing online or IRL, because you never know when trouble might arise and you need their help. I think that's it. Thank you for watching. I think the next video I want to do is I want to finally do Hello Kitty Online. I think it's time to talk about Hello Kitty Online. Or, because that new season of Fallout came out, I could talk about my Fallout OC. And I really like my Fallout OC. She's a lot of fun. That might be what I do. You know what? Is it okay if I talk about Fallout in the next video? And hold Hello Kitty off again for another video? Take care of your neighbors. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. And volunteer. Help your local communities. Oh, and also please use filters, for goodness sakes, if you're gonna post nudity that's not artistic nudity on the internet. Thank you. Mwah. Ooh! Another video idea is the quick announcement. I'm getting a fursuit head. It is made by Pirino, I think is how you say that, studio on Etsy. Highly recommend their work so far. It's looking good, and I can't wait to get my head, so I will be uploading an unboxing for that as well. Love you guys. See you in another one. Take care of yourselves out there.